It's difficult enough for many of us adults to hear the harrowing stories, see the pictures and names of those we've lost, many of them children, the devastation left behind, and the rescue and recovery efforts that continue in the wake of the Central Texas flooding disaster. And on top of that, it's hard to shield your children from the news. So how can we help them cope with the fears that they may have? Dr. Brad Schwall with the Center for Integrative Counseling and Psychology is here to help us out with that this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So glad to have you here. Tell me, let's just dive right into it. What are some age-appropriate ways to really address this tragedy with the children that are around us?
Well, we are talking to our children about it. We're initiating, in fact, because our kids are hearing about what has happened, and then certainly so many communities in this area, they've lost their friends. So we begin by talking about the basic facts. We check in on what our kids know. We're focused on feelings words. That's always what it's about. And so we need to take care of ourselves because parents are so hit by this. So parents need to take care of themselves and talk. It's okay to be emotional in front of our kids, absolutely. But we want to be ready for those conversations. It's about talking about how sad the families must be and how sad we are as well.
But you know, I think it's nice to make it a reality that, okay, my parent is being affected by this. This is a real emotion. And these are actual things that are happening. And this is a summertime, right? This is when kids are away at camp and families are out celebrating. I mean, it was a long holiday weekend. So all of this is very familiar to children. So should parents downplay the seriousness of the situation, or is there a different way to maybe go about wording it to them?
Well, we need to focus on that basic information, but be honest and be direct. And when I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that we're talking to our children who may have known children who passed away. And so it is so important to take their lead. It's like we're stepping in a little bit. How are you doing? I'm so sad. I know you are. We're also checking in on thoughts. You know, what questions do you have? What are you wondering about? And important to know that we don't have all the answers. And it's okay to say that we don't know. And then move back to those feelings. And again, I do think focusing on the compassion for the families who are so directly impacted, and add to all of that the girls who were rescued and the trauma of that. So many different emotions, and it all boils down to there's not one right thing to say. It's about caring presence and ongoing steady presence.
Indeed. You're so right about the fact, though, that there's plenty of children in our community who are probably facing the serious situation of dealing with having a friend that may have passed away for the first time, dealing with death for the first time. And I think that's definitely scary to think about, especially because we are still in the middle of summer, right? There's still children who may have camps that they haven't attended yet that they're still supposed to go on, or even camping trips, or anything that requires them to leave from home and hang out with their friends and be out and about. So how do we prepare them to not be afraid to go do those things and still have a good time despite the tragedy that's happened?
Right. I think it is that ongoing talk about what they are experiencing with what happened, telling them that it's okay to go about our activities. Children are resilient, and so we need not be worried when it seems like it's not affecting them, but then always still assume that it is. So by saying, I know you might be nervous going to camp or doing something different, but I love you, I'm here, we're going to keep talking about it. So it's sort of like assurances without promises is what it's really about.
I like that. I like that. Help them out without promising, like you said, anything. I think doctors use the same notion. Can I ask you, how do we make sure that we shield them from the continuous coverage, or should we?
Yes, it is important to not spend time on social media and video. Shielding our kids from those images really is important. For many of our families, it's real enough without having to see that. Kids are asking very specific questions, so I think you do trust your instinct about what to share, and say that those questions are okay, and then go back to, we don't know what it was like, but yes, shielding from all all of the press coverage really is important for children.
Good idea. Yeah, yes, indeed. Thank you so much for being here this morning. It's so timely, and the tips that you gave this morning, I'm sure, will help tons of parents who are at home grieving right now.
So we have more at the Center. Counseling is our social media feed, and we really are working with the churches and the schools to get information out there, because information does help give support for this ongoing process.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Dr. Schwall.